Hey there! The Experienced team is here to introduce the Smart Scheduler, a brand new system for the upcoming season. Built from the ground up by our team of esteemed engineers, the Smart Scheduler is a scheduling method that allows for league officials to adapt to the engagement of our players and teams while maximizing the number of opportunities for the students to compete. The goal of this system is to allow teams to compete during their originally scheduled match time as often as possible. But why Smart Scheduling? In past seasons, not every team who showed up at match time ready to compete were able to do so. This wasn't what our team envisioned, and the former scheduling system did not offer a way to easily match up the teams affected. After the Spring 22 season, we gathered a lot of feedback from our coaches and sought to address their concerns. Our team got to work, improving our scheduling system to evaluate a team's preparedness for competition while providing flexibility for league officials to adapt to teams' weekly attendance. Now that's a lot of big words, so let's simplify this down. How does this impact your teams and students? To start, all teams will begin their season in the match queue. By joining the queue at your competition time, then competing in the resulting match, league officials can verify your team's readiness for competition. Successfully competing in the queue will ensure that your team is eligible to be automatically scheduled to match in the following week. After the first week of the season, there will be two ways for your teams to compete in a regular season match: by being automatically scheduled or by competing in the match queue. Both scheduling scenarios result in a verifiable regular season match that will affect standings in the exact same way. And yes, wins will count the same regardless of how your team competes each week. What do these scheduling scenarios look like? The first scenario is through the match queue. Your team will need to utilize the match queue feature in any of the following four situations. If this is your team's very first game, if your team forfeited their last match, if the opposing team of a scheduled match forfeits prior to match time and you need a new opponent, or if there were an odd number of teams slated to be scheduled and we were not able to find you an opponent at that time. The second scenario is through an automatic scheduling process. This will take place if your team successfully competed in a match the week before and will look and feel similar to matches from seasons past. Consistently competing in matches each week will yield the best opportunity for your teams to meet opponents that share the same level of readiness. How will you know which scenario your team will use each week? If your scheduled match and match lobby page show as opponent TBD with a grayed out Firebob logo, your team needs to join the match queue for that week. If your scheduled match and lobby page show a verified high school as your opponent, then your team has been automatically scheduled for that week. If your team remains in the queue and our team is unable to find you an opponent within the 30-minute time period, your team will be awarded a bye for that week. Note that byes will be counted as a win this season, and your team will be eligible for automatic scheduling in the following week. Thanks for taking the time to meet the Smart Scheduler. If you have any further questions, we'll be happy to assist you. Reach out by using the icon in the bottom right, or email us at support@playversus.com.